We are back here with another TLC Camp interview. All Your Energy Short. Who are we here with now?
Terrence Blow from Extra Pulse.
What's going on, brother?
Blessed and highly favored. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I'm enjoying my time here. Honestly, this has been a really good experience so far. I've been really enjoying it. It's a really good vibe. I like the space that we're in. It's a cool, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a classic feel of it, man. I feel like
it is an energy in the space.
You know?
The Link Creative, we've collaborated. Extra Pulp has collaborated with the Link Creative. They asked us to come down here to start bringing some health and wellness energy.
Okay.
Our company is stationed in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And we've played a major role in D.C. of helping young artists and entrepreneurs galvanize the foundation of their business and set themselves up for success.
I like it.
So to be able to be down here in the Portsmouth area of Virginia, it just gives me a unique opportunity to observe so many talented people.
Right.
In the 757, Tidewater, Virginia Beach, extended Norfolk area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm amazed.
Yeah.
So like that energy that you're speaking to, I think it's, number one, we're in this beautiful residence. In
Absolutely.
Virginia.
Absolutely.
But then also the beautiful people who have shown up here have brought an extremely intentional energy.
Yeah.
And that has been it's been transcendent.
Yeah. Honestly, my experience just with the Link so far has just been a lot of genuine music creators and just music lovers, you know, and I like those vibes, man. It's always good vibes. So you're coming from the outside kind of looking in, right? A lot of people in Virginia feel like Virginia is just a slouch state as far as there's no support, there's no this and that, there's so many issues. What is your experience and what is your outlook on that?
There is so much talent.
Yeah.
But whenever you have, so for instance, D.C., I'm a born and raised Washingtonian.
Okay.
And D.C. is a small city.
Right.
So with D.C. being a small city, you have so many artists in a very centralized area.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to the opportunities, you know, you have the top 5% of artists who get the best opportunities within that local region.
Okay.
But then there are secondary and tertiary artists within the same market who also are similarly skilled, talented, and tenured that need other opportunities.
Okay.
They need other foundations of their entrepreneurship. They need other things to add to the foundation of their entrepreneurship to set them up to be successful.
Right.
One thing that my company does, we explore what it is to brand an artist, be it a music artist, be it a graphic designer, be it a painter, muralist, hip rapper, vocalist, so on and so forth. What does it take to brand that person in their own likeness and image? And then how do we disseminate that brand, likeness, and image to their target audience?
Okay.
So we're in the business of constructing lighthouses, not superstars or
definitely
not,
understood that
lifestyle ambassadors, so to speak.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, how do you cultivate a lifestyle with it being personal? Then you can become a lighthouse, and then you can just say, hey, I'm over here, I like this is what I do.
Respect.
Why don't you come join me?
Respect. Yeah.
Because I think every single person walking the planet has the capacity to be a rock star.
Yeah.
Who's really going to tap into it and do everything that's necessary to manifest that dream?
Right. And I can definitely understand that. I feel like a lot of artists, they don't understand that aspect of the business, because it sounds like you're not looking for the pizzazz. You're looking for I have the talent. I want to put you into the opportunities that you can earn for yourself, as far as by your talent, not for your looks or not for anything else like that. Because I feel like right now the music industry as a whole is in a flux of talent doesn't matter anymore.
Well,
do you find truth to that?
I do find that there is an attempt to minimize the value of talent.
Okay.
So if you're able to minimize the value of talent, you're able to then get to IP at a discounted rate. So when you think about
understood, okay,
having artists think more so about
their doggy,
having artists think more so about themselves as brands.
Right.
So you're not just a musician.
Right.
You're someone who is galvanizing charismatic support off of your interest and the things you've invested time and effort into.
Yeah.
So you deserve equity in the IP you create from the effort that you've invested into your career. The actual music industry's primary goal is to capture as much of that equity as they possibly can while giving you the opportunity to execute. So we're kind of over-mentored as a community of brown people in the United States of America. we're over mentored and we're under monetized.
Okay.
So one thing that I think can be done to help have artists more success is business strategy.
Okay.
Let's say, case in point, in DC, I'm a career bartender.
Okay.
I spent 20 years behind the bar.
All right.
So one thing I do in my agency with Extra Pulp, whenever we're working with young artists who have interest in being in the art community for an extended period of time, I tell them that, look, I know videographers that make more money than actors. There are secondary and tertiary careers in the artistic disciplines that take time to galvanize the skill set, that take
Yeah.
time to gather the skill
Yeah.
set, rather. So why not invest in the time game, not the influencer game?
Yes.
If you invest in the tenure game, not only will you have a skill set, you will also have access to the industry to which you can become an influencer in at any moment.
Absolutely.
But how can you maintain proximity to the industry without talent?
Exactly. And that's taking multiple different avenues within this industry. Because like if you're gonna be a rapper, you may as well learn how to make beats. You may as well learn how to record.
Art school.
Absolutely.
Even if not for the fact of learning how to be an artist,
Yeah.
like a painter or a graphic designer,
Right.
it's just learning the discipline necessary to talk to a painter or a graphic designer.
Got you.
Because
So
you can't just drop the album anymore.
understood.
You have
Understood.
to have the album art has
Right.
to be attractive to your target audience.
It's
You
got to
have
be branded. You got to brand the
you
whole
have to
album.
have the merchandise.
Yeah.
Because people want to wear the T-shirt. They want to come to the
Yep.
concert and leave with the,
Yep.
the memorabilia.
Yep.
So there are certain communications that you have to have as a rapper with multiple artists and multiple arenas in order
Yeah.
to get a finished product
Yeah.
at a certain level that meets the other finished products that are already hit the market. So, and also real quick,
Gems,
like,
man.
like being a bartender, like I've spent ample years in several different industries,
Right.
but people always eat and drink.
Yeah.
So any artist that works for Extra Pulp, in addition to helping them get their LLC, I also teach them how to work in the hospitality industry, because the beautiful part about the hospitality industry is that, number one, people always eat, but number two, you have two defined times of day to earn your living. But you have another, the opposite of that defined time to earn your living, is time that you can focus on your craft.
Yeah.
And they say the journey of mastery is 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
So why not set yourself up for success?
Yeah.
10,000 hours is 40 hours a week for 5 years.
Yeah.
So let's like set young artists up on a quest of mastery, not just pursuing an opportunity to get chose.
Right.
Because as you master things, you put together better products all to itself.
Yeah. I know you mentioned you feel like every artist should go to art school in order to gain that discipline. Now, I can
Absolutely.
agree, but do you feel like that's without it you won't be able to gain that discipline for yourself?
No, I don't think that. But there's this. There's two different communities that are splintering the artist world right now. So you have the student that is maturing in art, and then you have the enthusiast or the hobbyist. Because of their enthusiasm, they're able to catapult, or because of their time allowances. Like art requires time.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So if you are someone who maybe have a different level of wealth, you have a different means. You're not worried about your means goal on
Right.
a day-to-day basis.
Right.
You actually have time to sit down and sketch. You have an advantage over the artist that has to work.
Right.
Or, the artist that has to work also has an advantage over the person who's just in school.
Right.
Because while you're working, you're building relationships, you're working with other artists. So I think within that world, those worlds are splintering the artist community. But there's something about taste always reigning supreme. Like taste is a talent all to itself.
It is.
So it's one thing to be a phenom that can draw or paint or sketch anything, or a person with the ear that can play the piano and hear every single note.
Yeah.
But the person who is invested in nurturing taste will always be superior because they've added talents to their taste level to extract that sound or that color or that shape.
Yeah.
Where a person who's just a hobbyist or just the enthusiast, they haven't put the pen to paper enough. Or
Right.
like even in the food arena, you haven't put the knife on the cutting board enough.
Right.
you haven't cut yourself cutting garnishes enough.
Right.
So there's a certain character
Right.
that you gain by putting in the time that then becomes transferable to how you create the art.
Yeah, because I mean, it goes beyond just the art itself. I think creating self-discipline. There's multiple avenues you can go to that you're able to discipline yourself, and it'll affect you in all of your other aspects of your life. You know,
Yeah.
so just like working out, exercising. You know,
that
just an
same point.
easy form of discipline.
We did a health and wellness workshop this morning.
Okay.
And one of the things I wanted to focus on with the health and wellness workshop is you can't be the trumpeter that polishes the trumpet more than you polish yourself.
Okay.
You know, so when it comes down to that same discipline, how are you disciplined on taking care of who you are as a human being to then transfer that same energy to nurturing your art? One of my favorite artists is a guy named Marcel Duchamp.
Okay.
He was a French painter, illustrator, author, and one of his favorite quotes, or one of my favorite quotes of his, is that I don't believe in art, I believe in artists.
Okay.
And there was a wave of, I'm going to put in the work to be the best. And I think that wave is ending because you don't need to be the best to have a successful career in the art.
Yeah.
But you have to be passionate.
Absolutely.
And the best way to transfer passion is to transfer it from yourself.
Right.
Like, how do you love yourself?
Right.
That is how you're going to love your work.
Absolutely.
How do you love your family? How do you respect your mother?
Yeah.
Is how you're going to respect your work. How
And
do
I
you
really,
respect your community?
I appreciate
It's how
that
you're gonna
outlook.
respect your
I
work.
really appreciate that outlook. That's awesome.
Even in collaboration, you know?
Yeah.
How can I work with someone who obviously doesn't bathe?
Man, and that's
It's like, if you
oh
obviously
man.
don't bathe, there are certain things about what I'm trying to do that you're not going to
And I
not going to transfer.
I love that you say that, because I've been in so many times in my life where it's like you outgrow people because you have certain goals, and just these people are just comfortable where they're at, you know. And then, because me personally, once I start finding myself being too comfortable, I don't want to be so comfortable anymore. And if the people around me aren't helping me get out of my comfort zone, that means you're also too comfortable, and I got to start, you know, stepping away, you know, because
I had to tell a lot of lifelong friends, like, if you're not following, then this is farewell.
yeah,
And I don't mean that offensively, but there are 24 hours in a day. There are 7 days a week. And my responsibilities require my full attention right now.
Right.
Because this is the best opportunity that I have to execute.
right,
So if we're not able to meet on a wavelength, if we're not able to meet at a certain dimension, it's going to be time illy invested.
yeah.
You
And
know what I'm saying? Like,
and
it
the-
has to be plain and simple that way.
and the one thing I don't ever want to do in my life personally is waste my time. Like,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
It's
And
a very beautiful thing.
yeah, and
You know?
and I do want to just state that just because things don't always work out with people doesn't mean that you wasted time with them. It just means that you've outgrown the situation and you've
Just because the
learned from
friendship-
it. And
just because the friendship has matured,
yeah,
does not mean that it's beef.
exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
The friendship has matured,
exactly.
or it has expired.
Yeah,
And just because it has matured or expired, it's like in a relationship. I had a conversation with one of my ex-girlfriends,
okay,
and she said, "Do you think we'll ever get back together?" And I said, "There's no getting back together, but they're starting something again. Like, in order to get back together, we have to be those people that
Again.
we were before. We got to go
I
back
love
to
it.
that person.
I
to
love
get
it.
Back to today.
I absolutely
And
love
that's
it.
unrealistic.
I love it.
But we can acknowledge that the past brought us to a space to have something else in the future.
Right,
And I think that should go for all relationships,
All
be it
yeah.
platonic or romantic.
yeah,
Just because we're not seeing eye to eye right now doesn't mean there's not a space for time to increase accountability
absolutely,
for both parties.
yeah,
And as time heals the wound and increases accountability, you realize, like, it was never beef. You can say, damn, I could have done this a little better.
because a lot of the times it's 50-50, bro. It's something that you were doing that bothered that person. It was things they were doing bothering you. It's not always one-sided, man, you know.
Just because it's evaporated and it's not what it used to be,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it can't be something else.
Yeah,
You know?
it's holding yourself accountable for
I
things,
agree.
you know,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's holding yourself accountable for the positives and the negatives that you
I
do,
agree.
you know.
Accountability.
Yeah,
Like, not even for the positives and negatives, just saying that I was there.
Absolutely.
not letting someone else feel as if they were there alone.
And that's the most important part of growth is holding yourself accountable for everything that you do in your life, because during your day you're making thousands of choices every single day. Everything in life, every second of your life is a
Consciously
choice.
and subconsciously.
Exactly.
What I'm
And
saying? Like,
and life is a choice, man, and it's totally up to you of how you dictate what those choices are, whether they're just thoughts in your head or actions that you're doing, like physical movements, and making those choices matter.
and being comfortable with the choices that you make.
Absolutely.
Like accountability isn't more so like having to be so noble,
Right.
but it's more so saying like I had two options and I chose this one,
Yeah.
and this is the result of it.
Yeah.
Not this is how it turned out or look what happened to me. This is the result of a decision that I made.
Absolutely. And that's growth, man. And it sounds to me like you've done a lot of self-work, and
Absolutely.
and that's especially for men these days, with mental health being full front focus right now, man. Your
We're in
mental health
Awareness
is
Month.
it is very
We're
important to
in Suicide
maintain, man.
Prevention Month, excuse me.
Facts.
So in Suicide Prevention Month, the key catalyst is the conversation you have with yourself.
Yeah.
And in doing the internal work, the
Yeah.
one thing that I realized, my greatest anxiety was caused by my fear
Right.
and my imagination having a baby.
Man,
And it's only me talking that way to myself.
to myself,
So
I
it's a
get it.
reminder of like, why am I communicating with myself that way?
Damn. It's all habitual. It's habitual. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just habits. It's forming habits for yourself. It's just like, man, there you go. It's just like smoking
Being
cigarettes.
habitual about your wellness.
Like smoking cigarettes is a habit, right?
Yes, sir.
Talking to yourself can also be a habit that is formed. So when you're constantly talking bad about yourself, it can become an addictive trait to where it's like you just wake up and the first thing is just negativity. Just I hate myself. I hate this. I hate that. If you
even smaller than that, when it comes down to being accepted of things happening, being too accepting of uncomfortable things occurring. Like you leave the Starbucks and your coffee's cold as soon as you walk outside.
right,
And as opposed to saying like, this could have been a human error at Starbucks, you say, of course I get the cold coffee. I'm not nothing. I'm a piece of shit. I deserve a cold cup of coffee. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
yeah,
You've literally just took a situation that you've been a victim of because of your environment, and you've internalized it
That
to
you
be
have-
a part of your being.
you had no control over that.
No control
You had
over it
absolutely no
whatsoever.
control of that.
But you still have all the power. Because you sacrificed the power to walk back in Starbucks and say, hey, I really wanted a hot cup of coffee today.
Yep.
And this cup of coffee is a little less than Starbucks standard.
Right.
And then what's going to happen? That error is going to be remedied immediately.
Right.
And you don't have to walk away with the fear of self-loathing.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You can
Absolutely.
walk away with the intention of, I got a hot cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But so many people let these micro vexations that they're completely out of control of ruin their moment.
Yeah.
And that takes the gift out of being present.
Yeah. So have you been through these low points? Like, have you been through a low point in your life to where you had to build from it, and it kind of and how did that low point affect you? If you have been.
The pendulum only swings.
Okay.
So if you think about the best time in your life, there was weight that you attained at the best time in your life that catapulted whenever something turned from the best time to the opposite of the best time. And then there was effort that had to be constituted
Yeah.
to catapult it back to the top.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't really look at it as if I've had a bad moment or a bad time. I look at the human condition being extremely challenging across the board.
Right.
And I've been able to successfully hurdle my challenges.
Man, I love your outlook on life, bro.
Thank you.
Like, I feel like you're
taking time to
you're giving
apply.
mentor vibes, man.
I'm a bartender.
Like,
So if you think about, no matter what I do, no matter how many films I direct,
yeah,
movies I direct, no matter videos, brands that we drop and release, I would never let go of the title of being a bartender.
that's respect, man.
Because it gives a certain level of, I love common folk. And if you think about the people that really make the world go round, Beyonce doesn't make the world go round.
No, celebrities, they
It's
don't. They're
the
so out of
person
touch
at
now.
your cafe.
Yeah.
It's your butcher.
It's your
It's
neighborhood.
barber.
Yeah.
It's your beautician.
Yep.
Those are the people that really make your world revolve a little smoother.
Yeah.
Those are common folk.
Yeah.
And I think if more people realize that everybody works every day until they die.
Man.
Herbie Hancock is still playing the piano.
Yeah.
Herbie Hancock doesn't think it's a privilege that he's played with Miles Davis, that he doesn't have to practice no more.
Yeah.
So what are you planning on doing with your time? The best lives are lived passing time with pleasure.
Yeah.
What do you find pleasurable? Kicking it
Finding
with the
those
family,
things. Yep.
Kicking it with the kids, eating good food,
Yeah,
taking
man.
care of yourself, sharing your resources with your community,
Yeah, man.
building relationships. Like, that makes time, the passing of time, more pleasurable.
Absolutely.
Everything else is a distraction from that pleasure.
Exactly. Always. I mean, I feel like me personally, I'm on this. I work, a 9 to 5 just so I can support the other things that I want to do, because we all need, some bread. So all that negative connotation of having a 9 to 5,
That's how
we
you
all gotta
acquire-
find.
That's
Yeah.
how you acquire discipline
You know what I mean?
and work ethic.
Exactly. Big point. Big point made right there.
Yeah.
Like, that is exactly how you can acquire discipline, because you're doing something that you don't want to do for somebody you don't want to do it for, but you do it because you got to make some money to support what you really want to do. And as long as you continue to stay true to your goals and just stay on target and stay disciplined to yourself and keep practicing good practices. You know what I mean?
And
You'll
think
be able
about
to
it
get
like
through.
this, too. I'm gonna talk about my community. 96% of black businesses are sole proprietorships.
Mm-hmm.
That means one person brings one check to one home.
Yeah.
And that's why our communities are so splintered. Because if you're bringing one check to one home, there's no trickle-down effect of your success.
Right.
And we have to start creating opportunities for there to be trickle-down effects of our success.
Right.
So here at the Link Creative Camp, the TLC Camp, it's not one thing to just say, I want to be an artist, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a producer.
Yeah.
It's how am I going to create an ecosystem from the talent that I'm cultivating?
Right.
Because by creating that talent, you create communal good.
Right.
The minute everybody has a meal, the minute everybody's guaranteed something to eat within a small area, the violence stops. So, like, how do we start applying what we've learned from the real world? How do we start realistically applying those lessons to create the change that we want to see?
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between entrepreneurship and self-employment.
Facts. Spit
When
that.
you're self-employed, you
Spit
just
that.
don't have a manager.
Yeah.
You still have to do the work.
Yeah.
And you can't make entrepreneurship a part-time job that feeds into your full-time job.
Right.
Entrepreneurs pay other people.
Yeah.
The self-employed only pay themselves.
Right. Spit it. Spit it. That's straight knowledge,
Is
man.
that the mic drop right there? Is that the moment?
I think that was the
I think
moment,
that was the
brother.
moment.
I don't want to take too much of your time. What I
But
do want to
appreciate
do,
you
though,
doing this.
is I would love to have you come on to my podcast
I would
and
love to.
talk
It
a
would be an
lot
absolute
more
pleasure.
about this, because, to be honest, didn't know this conversation was going to get this deep, but, God, I have enjoyed this conversation
It has been a
a
pleasure,
lot.
man.
This has been
I
awesome,
would
bro.
love to come on. It would be a pleasure. I would love to have you up in D.C. whenever
Absolutely,
you want to.
bro.
Maybe
Absolutely,
when you
brother.
come to D.C., we could do an episode in D.C.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were just talking about that, man. I just got, the equipment to start bringing this thing on the road, and I'm ready
Let's
to
go.
I'm ready to take it out there, man.
Playing the DC first weekend of December.
Look at
I'll
that.
be there. That's my mother's birthday weekend.
Look at that.
So let's do it.
Look at
and
that.
let's think about it this way. That we're living right now through the fall of icon culture and the rise of cultural icons.
Yeah.
So, like, every community has a gentleman like yourself and a gentleman like myself who's passionate about having conversations like this.
Yeah.
So we're creating the cookie cutter
Yeah.
for other people to bake.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to come to DC now so we can show that there's a pipeline
Yeah.
within the 95 corridor
Absolutely.
to go to other markets and start doing the same work.
Yeah.
You
Because
what
I
I'm
know.
saying? And it's all about just inspiring the youth,
Yeah.
letting them know that there's a way to get away from what you're currently
Yeah.
experiencing.
Yeah.
And we know how, so let us show you.
Yeah. Because I know for me personally, with the podcasting itself, the biggest thing that I wanted to do coming into it was making content that mattered. it's always fun to go off the rails sometimes and have those wild episodes
And
and
the bizarre,
you know,
and you have room for the sensational, of course.
right, but ultimate goal for me is I like having these conversations because they're motivating to me.
Yes, sir.
You know, especially speaking to people that I've just met and hearing different perspectives on things that I think about all the time and things that I go through all the time. And we just talked and covered a lot of things that I've been going through personally, you know, and just to hear your perspective has just been very eye-opening in a very super positive way, you know, and I love it.
Note, when it comes to wellness, like real total wellness, if I snap my fingers and everybody who's here at the Link Creative Camp
Yes.
turn into 4-year-olds, we all need the same stuff. We're gonna need a hug, we're gonna need a sandwich, we're gonna need a nap, we're gonna need some protection,
Yeah.
we're gonna need a little direction,
Yeah.
and we're gonna need some luck,
Yep.
right? That doesn't change when you turn 40.
Facts.
So like the biggest thing that I'm understanding in total community wellness
Yeah.
is how do we preserve the inner child?
Right.
How do we heal that inner child? How
Right.
do we restart the dialogue of the inner child? Like I go back to my 16-year-old self and I say, hey man, are you proud of me?
Yeah.
Like if I could come back and be you again, would you do so much so different because of what I've done?
Yeah.
And I negotiate. I thought I would be with Beyonce by now. You know, I thought it would be a whole. You know, I thought I'd be on. I have a boat.
Yeah.
Docked over here in Portugal.
Yeah.
I rode the yacht over here for this opportunity.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
So that's a negotiation I gotta confidently have with my inner child and say, you know what? I haven't done it yet, but I'm still doing my best.
Yeah. I know for me, most of my major goals as a child, I still pretty much have today. So I understand what you're saying when you say speaking to your inner child.
Absolutely.
And I can relate heavily. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. Preserving the inner child is how you create a prosperous future for the adult.
Facts. And we're all
It's like a guiding post almost.
and we're all just grown kids, if you ask
That's
me.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it. No
we're
one
all
really
adults.
changes from that
Our
inner
toys
child.
just get bigger,
A little more expensive.
a little more expensive.
You know,
yeah.
they got a few more
you know what I'm
angles
saying?
that they turn. They got a few more frequencies.
Yeah.
They might require different voltages. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? But
you know what I'm
we're all
saying?
still just big kids.
Like, cause I know as a kid, you know, I wanted one of them little RC cars and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
And now I'm an adult. I just want a car. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
just a
need
bigger
the
RC
V8.
car.
You know,
You know what
I
I'm
don't need
saying?
120 volt.
You
I
know?
need the V8. So.
So tell everybody where to find you, man.
Well, my name again is Terrence Blow. The name of the company is Extra Pulp. You can find us on Instagram at Extra Pulp, EXTRA. Here I am. My name is Terrence Blow. The company is Extra Pulp. You can find us on Instagram at EXTRA PULP_. And let's build together.
Yes, sir.
Our pillars are retail, media, lifestyle, and education.
Yes, sir.
So as I continue to cultivate my agency and industry through education, I'm able to capture that education through my lifestyle. We're able to then share the education through different forms of media, short, long, photo, film, flash, record, and then we create retail products, component, tools, and resources for other people to live the lifestyle as well. It'll be a pleasure to work with you.
Man.
And thank you again for doing this, my brother.
I
This is
appreciate you taking some time to come down and do this, man.
my
So
pleasure. I look forward to next time.
I can't wait, bro. It's going to be a great conversation. Until next time, guys.